Hi there, I'm Milo and this is the Apatros Review. Now in this third part of Masochist-O-Ween, Dorian, next one I'm going to surprise you, we take a look at the Ted V Mikels classic, the Astro-Zombies. Now this was a theatrically released film, an American production, directed, produced and edited by Ted V Mikels, and also written by Mikels and Wayne Rogers, and this stars Wendell Corey, John Carradine, Joan Patrick, Tom Pace, and Tura Satana. And this was released in the United States on the 19th of May 1968, where it just pretty much went to the drive-ins. And then in the United Kingdom on the 2nd of July 1969. Then in Japan on the 24th of November 1969. Then in West Germany on the 19th of December 1969, remember this. Then later it had a TV premiere in Austria, on the 10th of March 1982. And then in Germany, in the reunified Germany, on the 19th of November 2010, we had its DVD premiere. Now, I'm actually reviewing the DVD of this. The Australian DVD is from Umbrella Entertainment, and this is it's a single-layer DVD. It's in NTSC, like 480p. It's got 185 anamorphic frame, English mono, like one channel mono, in 192 kilobyte range. No subtitles, and runs for 91 minutes and 14 seconds, and no supplement. The Blu-ray had supplements in it. Now, several people in California have been brutally murdered and their organs stolen. A band of spies working for an unknown hostile Second World nation, and by the way, for those who don't know, the Second World is actually terminology for communist countries. You see how we have the First World, Second World, Third World? Well, most people don't realize this. Well, First World means all like the developed nations, and Third World means all the poor countries. Second World refers to all the communist countries. That's so things like Vietnam, Cuba, and China, or well, West Taiwan, like communist China. Those are all Second World countries, by the way. Anyway, now these spies have been trying to steal top secret information, and the CIA have gotten involved. All roads lead to Dr. DeMarco, a rogue former NASA scientist was expelled from the agency for his crazy idea of creating Astro-Men, cyborg zombies put together from a mix of synthetic and natural organs, powered by solar cells, and controlled by radio transmission. Working from his top-secret mansion laboratory, DeMarco and his mute hunchback assistant Franchot have already made 2 of these Astro-Zombies, and one of them has gone on the rampage due to possessing the brain of a human psychopath. This is the second time I've encountered the works of legendary Psychotronic director Ted V Mikels, the crazy bastard who attained a loyal cult audience for the late 1960s for films like The Corpse Grinders, Blood Orgy of the She-Devils, The Doll Squad, which Mikels maintained was stormed by Aaron Spelling for his show Charlie's Angels, and this one, which is one of Mikels' most well-known works. Written by both Mikels and Wayne Rogers, yes, Trapper John from MASH, and shot on short ends. You know those leftover bits of film from film reels that are removed from the reel upon processing. So like when you shoot on the film reel, when you're done, whatever leftover reel is taken off, those are the short ends. So Mikels actually had a habit of using these short ends to pretty much to build them up together to form his film reels. And of course, the various different types of film stock that Mikels sourced the short ends from results in the color palette of this film varying a lot. That is why the color fluctuates constantly when you watch this particular film. Now, the Astro-Zombies is dull as shit, extremely talky, padded out to insane levels, featuring gore effects so bad you'd be laughing yourself to the hospital while watching them, and aimed squarely at the lowest common denominator of the film-going public. This resulted in the film becoming a cult fave, although it took Mikels a better part of 30 years before he started mounting sequels for this, with Market Astro-Zombies coming out around 2002. And cemented Mikels' reputation amongst hardcore professional bad movie masochists up for a viewing challenge. This makes the film right up my alley. Now, that being said, while the concept was your typical mad scientist film from the 1930s and 40s, only given the late 1960s facelift, and with the aforementioned crazy bad gore effects and even a bit of topless nudity during the nightclub dance scene, as well as the hilarious sight of an Astro-Zombie running around charging the solar panel on his forehead with a common gun variety flashlight. By the way, that's not as crazy as it sounds. You see, most solar cells on very small devices can perfectly function if you shine a household flashlight on it. For example, this cheap calculator I have actually works. I mean, it's got 2 power sources. It's got a battery and a solar cell. If I take out the battery for this and simply use a solar cell, it works. But I can actually shine a flashlight on this, and it'll actually it'll help the thing function. So if I wanted to use this in a dark room with no battery, I simply get a torch and just shine it on the solar cell, and I can use the calculator. It actually works. And a soon-to-be murdered CIA spook trying to escape his fate by headbutting a hostile enemy spy in the balls. That was awesome. Remind me to try that sometime, just for kicks. And we have the side of perennial bad movie patron Saint John Carradine, the man who will star in any movie just for the paycheck, as Dr. DeMarco, who gives us the wonderfully masochistic sight of unscrewing all four screws on the back of a small metal cabinet, lifts off the entire back panel, unscrews another screw, opens a drawer, puts in a small circuit, then closes everything up again, just putting all the screws back in, then waiting for the degaussing process to finish, degaussing back like what you used to do on the old CRT monitors. You press a button and it demagnetizes the screen. Waiting for that process to finish before repeating the whole procedure again to remove the circuit, which means removing all the screws again, lifting all the panel, putting all that done in real time. No jump cut. The hero of the piece is Wendell Corey, who made this his last ever film role before dying for the bottle, alcoholic, shortly afterwards. And you can actually tell he's affected by it during the film. And the most amazing cast member here is Tura Satana, dressed to the hilt with some insanely high slits on her cocktail dress that exposes the full length of her thighs, as well as openings for the sides of her stomach and her boobs, and absolutely killing it in every shot she's in. Although I should point out that the suppressors do not work in revolvers, because she actually uses a revolver that's got a suppressor on it. Not only is that suppressor fake, obviously, you can tell it's not even angled right, but also the fact is that you can't really use it, or to refer to them as silencers. Suppressor is the actual term for it. You can't use them with revolvers because in order for a suppressor to work, what it does is it captures the gas buildup that comes out from when the bullet is fired. It captures that, and that's how it meets the sound. Of course, the assassins do actually have an old trick where they look. If you really want to use the silenced weapons without using a suppressor, just simply get the bullet and take out some of the powder, which reduces the gas pressure, and also, of course, it'll rob the bullet of a lot of its range, but for a close-up shots of a pistol, it works. It's an old assassin's trick. I actually got that from Desmond Bagley, who was a writer who, actually in his book Running Blind, I actually got that from there, which was written in like early 80s, 1982, I think. It's a great book, one of my favorite novels. I'll review it in the future. So basically, suppressors and revolvers don't work. And like I said, that suppressor looks mighty fucky. Now, make no mistake, this is a bad film, being almost completely unwatchable for me non-masochistic mortal movie fans, but for professionals like me, this gives quite a kick. Now, the Astro-Zombies has earned itself the dreaded D- from me, 1 out of 10. It's quite simply one of the very worst sci-fi movies of the 1960s, but Ted V Mikels fans love it. Now for the gore. For all his trash movie reputation and the crazy plots of his movies, he really was a wimpy wuss when it came to gore effects. Indeed, most of his films would easily be rated PG-13 if it wasn't for the story thematics to be completely unsuitable for young'uns. Here, there are a number of cheap gore effects, but since Mikels likes to pull his punches, the gore is almost non-explicit and looks more like a high school horror spookhouse effect due to how amateurish it looks. As for nudity, well, Mikels does show off a strikingly weird example here. During a nightclub act, a female dancer covered in body paint does some silly beatnik dance number. Now, with the exception of the body paint covering the whole body, she's only wearing thong panties, or as we Aussies refer to as a G-string. Her boobs are visible, but if you want to see them more clearly, simply adjust the color balance on TV to basically drain the color from your TV, making it all black and white, and you'll see the boobs much more plainly visible. Now for the DVD. This was released on DVD in Australia for Umbrella Entertainment during the early 2010s, but on a single-layer DVD that had no supplement and no proper menu, just a static screen saying Play Feature, and when you press Enter, the movie plays a full, then once it ends, returns to the screen ready for another playthrough. The quality of the print is somewhat acceptable, since if you are aware that the entire film was shot in shorthands, I've already explained about that, from different types of film stock, so the color balance always shifts from shot to shot, despite the best efforts of the film lab to match the stock together. So if you're a fan of nice pristine prints, you're not gonna like going for this one. The soundtrack is in English mono, which means absolutely no surround sound at all. Although I guess if you manage to redirect the mono channel to subwoofer, you'll get quite an enjoyable masochistic blast, with the stock sounds cricket effects giving some heavy workout to your sound setup. There are no subtitles here and absolutely no supplement whatsoever. There was a Blu-ray release at the same time, which had supplemental features on it, like commentaries and stuff. But for DVD fans, this is a mixed effort. I mean, this DVD was released at a time when companies were just not putting extras on their DVDs. They were going for the Blu-rays. Now, personally, the lack of supplements in this doesn't bother me, to be honest. But I just hate it when companies just, and look, Umbrella they're the best boutique label in Australia, but they have this habit, during the 2010s of just making discs with some of them. For a while, they made films just with no menus whatsoever. It just plays the movie automatically, and then either loops it or just ends. That was a bit of a problem. Also, Shock Entertainment did that for some of the Cinema Cult DVDs too. So that was an annoying trend. Now, I think now they're still doing, many companies just releasing DVDs no extras on them. Basically glorified VHS tapes. Okay, so Astro-Zombies gets a D-, 1 out of 10. It's fucking awful. But if you're a masochist, it's fucking awesome. But it's not so bad, it's good, so I'm not going to give it any of the AD ratings. So D-, 1 out of 10. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't do requests, but if you have any questions about films, DVDs, or even games, hit me up in the comment section, I'll be happy to answer. Actually, I'm not that much of an expert in games, but movies, yeah. Okay, hope you guys are staying safe, take it easy, and see ya.